Exploring the mind through yoga. The mind is considered a profound instrument that influences our perception, emotions, and overall well-being. We recognize the multifaceted nature of the mind, describing it as consisting of four distinct parts: Chitta, Manas, Buddhi, and Ahamkara. Each component plays a unique role in shaping our consciousness and understanding of the world. Chitta can be understood as the storehouse of our impressions, memories, and experiences. It holds the sum total of our past actions and their residual effects. Chitta is characterized by its ability to retain, recollect, and recreate experiences, forming the foundation of our individuality. Chitta operates at a subconscious level, influencing our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions without our conscious awareness. Manas is the active, thinking mind, responsible for processing sensory information and generating thoughts. It is the seat of desires, imagination, and emotions. Manas is dynamic and ever-changing, constantly engaged in the process of sensory perception, analysis, and response. Manas is associated with the ordinary waking consciousness, connecting us to the external world and shaping our immediate experiences. Budhi represents the discerning intellect responsible for decision-making, reasoning, and discernment. It helps us differentiate between right and wrong, true and false. Buddhi embodies clarity, wisdom, and intuition. It enables us to make informed choices and facilitates the integration of knowledge and experience. Buddhi is associated with higher consciousness, transcending the limitations of sensory perception and accessing deeper insight and understanding. Ahamkara is the egoic principle often referred to as the I maker or the sense of individual identity. It fosters a sense of separation, shaping our self-image and attachment to our roles and possessions. Ahamkara can both limit and empower us. When unbalanced, it can lead to a distorted self-perception and reinforce negative patterns of thought and behavior. However, when harmonized, it can provide a healthy sense of self and balanced ego. Ahamkara is associated with the individualized consciousness, giving rise to the perception of oneness as a separate entity in relation to the external world. Now, let's have a look on the individual parts of the mind into more detail. Chitta is the storehouse of memories and impressions. In the profound teachings of yoga, tantra, and ayurveda, the mind is recognized as a complex and multidimensional entity. Among its various components, Chitta holds a significant place as the storehouse of memories, impressions, and experiences. It is through the exploration of Chitta that we gain insights into our past actions, conditioning, and the patterns that shape our present reality. Chitta can be likened to a vast reservoir that collects and stores our impressions, memories, and experiences. It acts as the tapestry upon which the other components of the mind paint their expressions. The primary function of Chitta is to retain, recollect, and recreate our experiences. It is responsible for the formation and preservation of memories, as well as the imprinting of our past actions and their residual effects. Chitta is like the canvas that holds the sum total of our personal history, influencing our present thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. Chitta is characterized by its remarkable capacity to hold the imprints of past experiences. It forms the foundation of our individuality, shaping our responses to the world around us. Every thought, emotion, and action leaves a trace in Chitta, contributing to the complex web of our personal history. The storehouse of memories and impressions influences our thoughts, desires, and perceptions, often operating beneath our conscious awareness. The quality of Chitta is both expansive and malleable, capable of storing a vast range of experiences that shape our understanding of ourselves and the world. Chitta encompasses a wide spectrum of impressions that influence our consciousness. These impressions can be categorized into two main types: samskaras, that are the deep-rooted impressions left by our past actions and experiences. They can be positive, negative, or neutral, depending on the nature of our past deeds. Samskaras shape our tendencies, habits, and predispositions, guiding our thoughts, emotions, and actions. They can be seen as imprints that influence our present behavior, often leading us to repeat certain patterns or tendencies. Vasanas are the subtle desires or latent tendencies stored in Chitta. They arise from unfulfilled desires, attachments, and conditioning. Vasanas can be seen as the driving force behind our thoughts, emotions, and actions, often manifesting as cravings or inclinations. They contribute to the cycle of desire and attachment, impacting our decision-making process and influencing our sense of fulfillment. Chitta operates at a subconscious level, exerting a profound influence on our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. It shapes our conscious experiences without our direct awareness. The impressions stored in Chitta create a filter through which we perceive and interpret the world. They influence our likes, dislikes, biases, and tendencies. The subconscious nature of Chitta means that we may not always be aware of the underlying influence guiding our thoughts and actions. However, through self-reflection, mindfulness, and practices like meditation, we can gradually uncover and understand the workings of Chitta, gaining clarity and liberation from its limitations. Recognizing and working with Chitta is a transformative journey. By exploring our own Chitta, we can gain profound insights into the conditioning, patterns, and beliefs that shape our lives. Through practices such as meditation, self-inquiry, and mindfulness, we can develop a conscious relationship with our Chitta, fostering healing, growth, and liberation. By understanding the impact of past impressions, we can consciously choose to release unhelpful patterns, cultivate positive qualities, and expand our awareness beyond the confined or conditioned thinking. Chitta contains the collective unconscious and contains the subtle imprints of all of our experiences. In hypnosis, our mind can be brought to the level of the Chitta, which we can remember everything that has ever happened to us. It holds all the other functions of the mind latent within itself as a seed. Chitta is the general sensitivity of our field of consciousness, most of which we are unaware. It represents the totality of our mental field. It contains deep-seated emotions, habits, impressions, and attachments. It corresponds generally to Prakriti among the 24 tattvas. It is our individual portion of nature composed of the three gunas.